And welcome back. As of Friday, average mortgage rates for people with exceptional credit, according to the Mortgage News Daily, has reached 6.7%, the highest rates we've seen since 2008. In other words, a 14-year high. To give you guys some perspective regarding this, average mortgage rates across the United States for the past year have increased by almost 4 percentage points, which is absolutely insane. So I'm going to be sharing exactly how home buyers are affected by this in today's video, but I also have some news regarding home prices, housing inventory, and home sales across the United States, according to a new report from Redfin. And with that said, if you guys appreciate frequent housing market updates, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Also consider subscribing as well. I post frequent housing market updates so you guys can be more informed. And with that said, let's begin today's video. This is according to Redfin, and this is for the 4 weeks ending September 18th of this year. So first I'm going to talk about home prices, and then I'm going to be talking about mortgage rates here. So stay tuned for that here in just a little bit. So according to Redfin, the median sold price, again, this is a lagging indicator, what our housing market was like approximately 1 to 2 months ago when an offer was accepted. The median sold price was $371,850, up 8% year over year, but prices have climbed 1% since the beginning of this month after 11 weeks of declines. And speaking of home prices, in San Francisco, the median sold price fell 6% year over year. Also in Oakland, California, prices fell by 2.5%. Buffalo, New York saw prices decrease by only 0.1%. Honolulu, Hawaii, down by 1.4%, and New Orleans down by 10% compared to 1 year ago. And by the way, these are the only 5 metros that Redfin tracks that saw year-over-year decreases in the median sold price. In regards to the median sold price across the United States, have a look at this. So according to Redfin, again, we're up 8% year over year. The median sold price is at $372,000. As you can see right here, over the past couple of weeks, the median sold price across the United States has actually been increasing according to Redfin though. Even though home prices according to Redfin have increased slightly over the past couple of weeks, the year-over-year gains at 8% is far below levels we saw for the majority of the year. At the start of this year, we had year-over-year gains of 15%, again for the median sold price according to Redfin here. We also saw gains by double digits all the way until we hit right here for the 4 weeks ending July 24th, where we saw gains only at 9% on a year-over-year basis. So in other words, the growth in home prices has been decelerating more recently though, but actually over the past few months now, home prices have actually decreased by 5%. And this is because the median sold price right now is $372,000, but 3 months ago, the median sold price was $393,000. Meanwhile, going back to this report from Redfin here, the median asking price of newly listed houses increased 9% on a year-over-year basis to $381,000. Also, the monthly mortgage payment, or the average monthly mortgage payment on the median asking price home based on current rates at that time, were up 45% compared to 1 year ago. This is because 1 year ago, average mortgage rates, according to Redfin here, this is based on Fannie Mae's weekly survey, was at 2.88%. Now the current rates is at 6.29%. So I want to give you guys a real life example regarding this spike in mortgage rates, how it's impacting home buyers right now, because this rate right here at 45%, a 45% increase in the average monthly mortgage payment for home buyers is actually much worse than that when you take into account current mortgage rates at 6.7% and not 6.29%. And here's what I mean by that, because according to the Mortgage News Daily, average rates, which by the way, these are for people with exceptional credit, is 6.70% in the afternoon hours of the 23rd of September. This, by the way, is a 14-year high. We haven't seen rates this high since 2008, which is absolutely insane. Also, going back to August 1st, our average mortgage rates were about 5.05%. So right now, average mortgage rates have increased approximately 165 basis points, or 1.65 percentage points ever since August 1st of this year. And therefore, the direct impact for homebuyers right now is this causes a 16.5% decrease in buyers' purchasing power. As I mentioned in my previous video, for every 1% gain in mortgage rates, that causes a 10% decrease in buyers' purchasing power. Now let me share an example regarding how this is impacting current home buyers right now, because this has a pretty detrimental impact for home buyers right now who are getting mortgages. So according to Redfin, the median asking price right now is $381,000. 1 year ago, it was $351,000. These are the median asking price across the United States according to Redfin. So let's have a look what your mortgage payment would be 1 year ago compared to right now. So again, the median asking price 1 year ago was $351,000. At that time, average mortgage rates were about 3.1%. As you can see right here, according to the Mortgage News Daily. So at 3.1%, putting 20% down, that would give you a $1,199 per month mortgage payment. Of course, this is principal and interest only, P&I. I'm excluding taxes, insurance, and HOA because there's some variations depending on where you live. So just looking at P&I, your mortgage payment would be $1,199 per month. Fast forward to now, average rates right now at 6.7%. The median asking price is at $381,000. That would give you a payment of $1,966 per month. In other words, an increase of $767 more per month to basically buy the same house right now compared to 1 year ago. And this, by the way, would be a 64% increase in your average monthly mortgage payment compared to 1 year ago. This is why I'm a strong believer that if mortgage rates sustain at these levels, home buying demand is going to be decreasing further in the months to come. So that's one example regarding this huge increase in the average monthly mortgage payment compared to 1 year ago. But I also want to share a second example with you guys really quickly here because as they've been important to you guys, average mortgage rates have been increasing greatly ever since August 1st of this year. So August 1st, average mortgage rates are at 5.05%. And again, right now, average rates are at 6.70%. So this is a 165 basis point increase ever since August 1st of this year. And this increase in mortgage rates over the past month and a half, here's how it translates to current home buyers right now. So the monthly mortgage payment given rates back in August 1st at 5.05%, and the median asking price really hasn't changed much since August 1st of this year at $381,000. That would give you an average monthly mortgage payment of $1,645 per month compared to $1,966 compared to right now. So in other words, this is an increase ever since August 1st of this year by $321 more per month ever since August 1st, which is absolutely insane, which equates to a 20% rise in your average monthly mortgage payment in the last 1.5 months. So taking a step back, I want to mention this because when looking at these figures here, a gain of 45% on a year-over-year basis, when you actually take into account current mortgage rates right now, we're really talking about an increase of about 64% compared to 1 year ago, and not 45% here. And of course, if current mortgage rates continue to increase, this of course is going to get worse and worse, and I'll report to you guys the latest developments here. So changing gears slightly, let's talk about pending home sales, active listings, as well as new listings, because there's some interesting developments right now. So pending home sales were down 21% year over year, the largest decline since May 2020, which of course was the onset of the pandemic. Also, new listings, which of course is when a home seller lists their home for sale, were down 20% compared to 1 year ago, also the largest decline since May 2020. And this right here is really the saving grace to our housing market right now, because if new listings were absolutely skyrocketing, causing active listings to also skyrocket, that would cause a very big housing market correction right now. But what we're seeing right now is that a lot of home sellers or a lot of homeowners are very reluctant to list their houses for sale, given the fact that mortgage rates have absolutely spiked. And also home buying demand has decreased greatly as well. Meanwhile, active listings, which of course is housing inventory, fell 1.5% from the prior 4-week period, and on a year-over-year basis only increased by 0.4%. So here's some charts I want to share with you guys regarding pending home sales, new listings, as well as active listing inventory. So pending home sales are down 21.96% compared to the same time period in 2021. which by the way, in 2021 at this time, we were actually up 6.27% compared to the same time period in 2020. Also, when looking at this chart right here, pending home sales have been declining ever since this time period right here, which is more or less April of this year. So pending home sales are down about 22% on a year-over-year basis, which of course means that we're seeing fewer contracts being signed between buyers and sellers right now. Let's have a look at active listings or new listings though. New listings are down 19.9% on a year-over-year basis. And this again is our saving grace to our housing market, because if we were seeing inventory or new listings absolutely increasing greatly, that would cause inventory to increase greatly as well, which of course would really cool off this housing market. But right now we're seeing a huge decrease in the number of new listings ever since June and July of this year. So that's the changes we're seeing in new listings. Let's have a look at active listings, which is housing supply. And according to Redfin right now, housing supply is only up by 0.43% compared to the same time period in 2021, which more or less is the same number of houses for sale right now compared to the same time period in 2021. And the main reason, in my opinion, why we're seeing this decrease of active listings right here is because we're not seeing enough new listings hitting the market. In fact, down about 20% on a year-over-year basis, and has been declining greatly over the past few months now. And this is one of the main reasons why we're not seeing active listings shoot up greatly like we saw at the beginning of this year. Meanwhile, the month supply of housing inventory right now is sitting at 2.8 months, the highest level since July of 2020. And in my personal opinion, in order to have a buyer's market, we need this number to be about 4 months and not 2.8 months. But it has been increasing greatly over the past several months though, which of course is a positive step in the right direction if you're a home buyer. And here's a chart showing the month supply over the past few years. So the red line right here is 2022, here's 2021, here's 2020. Look at 2020 in February, the month supply was 4.5 months. Now it's 2.8 months. Also at the beginning of this year, on January 1st, our housing supply was just under 2 months. So housing supply has been increasing greatly over the past several months now, because the month supply back in May was on par with January's levels. So ever since May, the month supply has been increasing greatly. Meanwhile, approximately 34% of pending home sales went under contract within the first 2 weeks of hitting the market, or within the first 2 weeks of being listed for sale. This is far below levels we saw in 2021 and 2020, when the percentage was around 40%. Also, for houses selling very, very quickly within 1 week, about 23% of pending home sales went under contract within 1 week. This is below levels compared to the past couple of years as well, when the share was about 28% to about 29%. Also at 23.4% right now, this is far below the levels we saw back in February all the way until May of this year, when the share was around 40%. Also, according to Redfin, over the past 2 months, it's taking longer for houses to sell compared to the same time period in 2021. And right now, the median days in the market is about 29 days. This is approximately 7 days slower compared to the same time period in 2021. So not only is it taking longer for home sellers to sell their houses right now, they're also getting less than their asking price on average as well. So take a look at this. 33% of houses that sold above their list price. So in other words, 67% sold at or below the seller's asking price. So at 32.9% selling over the asking price, this is on par with 2020, but far below 2021. And here's another chart showing that. So the average sale price to list price ratio is 99.4%. So during this time frame right here, home sellers sold their houses for 0.6% below their asking price. Now, obviously, this is not a lot, but look at this though, because back in May, the share was over 102.5%. So during this time frame, home sellers were selling their houses for about 2.5% over their asking price. Now they're selling on average just below their asking price. And lastly, the share of price reductions right now, according to Redfin, is 7.4%. 1 year ago, that share was 3.8%. According to altosresearch.com, the share right now is about 40% on average. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value in this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.